Welcome to Golf Fundamentals, the 14 swing principles, just the basics please. In this episode, we will be covering all the different golf swing principles and good habits for better practice sessions. Let's get started with the 14 swing principles, and just the basics, of course. Every now and again, it is time to evaluate our golf swing from the bottom up. Literally. Let's become fearless. Why don't we confirm what that actually means? A fearless golfer is not a reckless golfer. He or she is simply one who is not concerned with things outside their control. He or she is wrapped up in the moment of hitting the ball where they want it to go. Evaluation. Definition. Determine or set the value or amount of, appraise, to evaluate property. To judge or determine the significance, worth, or quality of, assess. To evaluate the results of an experiment. Just like an engine tune-up or oil change is required for our automobile, so is a swing evaluation periodically, as is mapping your bag for club distances twice a year. Know what to work on when hitting golf balls on the range. Lower those scores on the blow-up holes on that scorecard to nothing more than a double bogey. Learn to practice like you play. A practice session without a plan is not practice. Number 1. Grip. Primary influence, direction. Definition. The placement of the hands on the golf club. Its primary influence, laws, is on direction of the ball flight. The correct grip selected by each player, whether interlock or overlap, is not a natural placement of the hands and will not feel totally comfortable at first. It must be learned. The 4 P's of the grip. 1. Placement. Relates to how far up or down the shaft the player may place their hands on the club. 2. Positioning. Refers to the rotation of the hands on the grip in either a clockwise or counterclockwise direction, or, as we have been traditionally told, strong or weak. 3. Pressure. Probably the most elusive of the 4 points, described as the force an individual applies to the club as they hold it. 4. Precision. The player can choose to grip the club in the exact same manner each time, or be careless and non-exact. Number 2. Aim. Primary influence, direction. Definition. Alignment of the club face and body in relation to the target. Visualize the shot target. Let your mind's eye get the full information needed before executing the shot. Number 3. Setup. Primary influence, direction and distance. Definition. Player's posture, ball position, stance, weight distribution, and muscular readiness. Also, shaft lean between the front shoulder, ear, balance, and shoulder tilt at address. Number 4. Swing plane. Primary influence, direction. Definition. The tilt and direction of travel of the inclined plane made by the club shaft. Rotation of the upper body swinging the club in relation to the spine angle. Number 5. Width of arc. Primary influence, direction. Definition. Degree of extension of the arms and hands away from the center of rotation during the swing. Number 6. Length of arc. Primary influence, direction and distance. Definition. Distance the club head travels in the backswing and forward swing. Number 7. Position. Primary influence, direction. Definition. Relationship of the back of the left arm and left wrist to the face of the club and swing plane when the player reaches the top of the backswing. Number 8. Lever system. Primary influence, distance. Definition. The combination of levers formed by the left arm and club during the backswing. Number 9. Timing. Primary influence, direction and distance. Definition. Proper sequence of body and club movement which produces the most efficient result. Rotation of the hips, not the sway or slide back and forward during the process. Number 10. Release. Primary influence, direction. Definition. Allowing the arms, hands, body, and club to return to and through the correct impact position while freeing the power created in the backswing. Number 11. Dynamic balance. Primary influence, direction and distance. Definition. The appropriate transfer of weight during the swing while maintaining body control. Remember to move 40% to back foot while keeping 60% on the front foot. The back foot toe never leaves the ground, but instead squishes the bug during the pushing of the weight back to the front as the body posts up on the front leg. Number 12. Swing center. Primary influence, direction, and distance. Definition: a point located near the top of the spine around which the upper body rotation and swing of the arms takes place. Number 13. Connection. Primary influence, direction, and distance. Definition: establishing and maintaining the various body parts in the appropriate relation to one another in the setup and during the swing. The swing has to stay in sync throughout the whole swing process for optimal power delivery at impact. Number 14. Impact. Primary influence, direction, and distance. Definition: the position of the body and club at the moment the club head delivers its full energy to the ball. Using the proper equipment 101. Many amateur players have never been fitted for golf clubs, somewhat like buying a suit off the rack without tailoring to our correct size, shape, etc. The lie angle of the golf club can have a significant impact on ball flight. If the angle is too flat, heel in the air, the toe of the club will impact the ground first and have a tendency to push the ball to the right. If too upright, toe in the air, the ball flight will tend to be to the left, especially with the more lofted irons. Always begin your practice round with 10 minutes of warm-up exercises by stretching and preparing the muscles for the physical exercise your body is about to endure. Warm up both the upper and lower body to help give you a fuller range of motion in your swing and help eliminate injury. We do not hit 8 drives in a row, so why do it on the practice range unless a major swing change is underway? Change target, then change clubs after every 2 shots. Rotate like a real hole on a real course by picturing the shots, the hole design, and even the landing spots, etc. Aim and alignment. Begin your practice round by placing 2 alignment sticks on the ground, which are going to rapidly become the very best $15.99 ever spent on training tools for your golf game. Lay one perpendicular to the target line for correct ball positioning, and lay the second parallel to the target line for accurate alignment, approximately 1 inch from your toes to give a bit of room for any slight movement of the feet during your swing. The ball should be placed outside the parallel stick, and your feet should straddle the perpendicular one. Starting first with your sand wedge, aim at your target and practice hitting several balls using your sand wedge, then pitching wedge, focusing on making solid contact with the ball and incorporating a smooth rhythm. Be sure to ask me later about swing tempo, a whole episode in itself, possibly in the making. Mid-iron shots. Once you have grooved a smooth rhythm using your sand and pitching wedges, move up to your mid-irons. Pick different targets on the range using your 5, 6, and 7 irons, and hit about a dozen shots, focusing again on solid ball striking, aim, alignment, and tempo with a nice slow backswing, then attack the ball. Fairway woods and driver. Turn your attention now to your fairway woods, and finally your driver. Use about 70 to 80% of your power, focusing on rhythm, balance, and making solid contact with the center of the club face. Practice using the various targets on the range. Develop a pre-shot routine. Standing behind the ball, pick your primary and intermediate targets. Envision the ball's line of flight. Take a few practice swings, step into the shot, aim the club face to your immediate target, and swing. Chip and putt. After using your driver on the range, warm up with a variety of chip shots around the green. Try to simulate the kinds of shots you might experience on the course. Practice chipping up close to the pin, then putt down. Each chip shot will have a slightly different landing spot, which will result in a much more effective putting routine than hitting a half-dozen balls in a row from the same spot into the cup. Helpful hints for proper position during the golf swing. Butt end of the club should never point outside the swing plane. Hands remain parallel from setup to top of backswing. Practice the hinge and turn and then the hinge and hold. Don't make the lead arm become locked and totally straight, but relaxed during the backswing with a muscle pulse during the downswing. But do not bend the lead arm more than a couple degrees at most. A reminder that 43.6% of the scorecard happens on the green with a putter in our hands. Some of those are 6-inch tap-ins, while others mean a ton more as the 12 to 20-foot range putts. Why do we not spend almost half of our practice time on the putting green on off-day practice sessions? Best way to challenge yourself at the finesse portion of the game is to take a 3-ball sleeve out at the edge of the putting practice green, chip them onto the surface, and then go putt them into the hole. If you miss even one of the 3, you must go back to the exact same spot and do it again until you are perfect. Then move around the green to another elevation and shot skill. Do the same drill again. This simple drill challenges you to get up and down in 2 strokes. Again, practicing like you play theory. Best habits to follow. Develop a pre-shot routine, brief and with a swing thought purpose, and practice it between every single shot on the range, too. The biggest difference between the putting practice green and the greens on the playing golf course is the tension level of the player. Same with the driving range. Developing a consistent routine to approach every shot will put the tension level at a minimum. Final thought of the day. Fear in golf is simply considering the consequences. Nothing more, nothing less. When you are afraid of hitting a shot in the water, you are no longer in the moment. You are considering the negatives of hitting the ball into the water. Extra nugget. Develop a consistent shot tempo on the range, with the average time between hits running 45 seconds minimum. A large bucket of balls, which is usually 80 to 100 balls, and should take around 1 hour to finish. Thank you for watching Golf Fundamentals, the 14 swing principles. Just the basics, please. Contact Jeff Hilwig with your questions and thoughts on your swing. And be sure to look out for the other videos in the Golf Fundamentals series.